Hello, everyone, and welcome back to American Ultras Talk. We're here for the first transfer update of the summer, and no Yuri today, but we have two very special guests from a show that I'm sure all of you guys have watched. I bet every single one of you knows them, but if you don't, Derek and Brett from the Straight Red Card. We'll leave the description to their channel down below if you haven't seen them, but people who've been in the game for a long time, talking U.S. soccer, host live streams twice a week. And we're just going to talk about some of the biggest transfers that have happened already, and then some of the rumors that have been coming out recently for the biggest USMNT players. There's a lot since we haven't done one yet this summer. I know you guys have talked about some of these players before, but let's just jump into it with the first one, Johnny Cardoso joining Atletico Madrid. I think that was the first one that was really confirmed and done this summer. Joining them over Tottenham. So let's say, Derek, you can start this one. We'll go to you and then Brett, and then I'll finish things off. But thoughts on the move, thoughts on him rejecting Spurs, and overall, what do you think he's going to do this next season with Atleti? And can he get himself a consistent spot with the national team? Because that's always the issue with Johnny, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I think it's a really good move. Obviously, Atleti wanted him, and they're willing to pay for him. And I don't think they're paying for him to ride pine, so I think he's going to play. We'll see if that turns into a regular starting position. I can only imagine that the manager has a vision for him, or else he wouldn't have spent the money and been this invested. I just can't imagine. Well, go ahead, Brett.
Just to clarify, because you keep saying spending the money, they dropped 24. They dropped 24 million on him.
Yeah,
he's gonna play.
Yes, it's a chunk of change. He's gonna play for sure.
Yeah, I didn't go back through Madrid's transfer history, but so I have no idea how often they dropped 24 million on a player. But
not all. I mean, they paid more, but yeah, you're right. I mean, they're pretty smart about how they use their money and their funds. They always have been exceptionally smart about that. But I think he'll play. I think the bigger question that you brought up, Brayton, is whether or not this means he's going to play for the U.S. men's national team. That's going to be on Poach, on whether or not Poach is ready to just move on. Has he given up on him like he's given up on Sargent? I hope not. I would hope he made, a bad play before he got injured recently, and he didn't play the best we have seen him. His teammates seem to think in camp he was amazing. So that doesn't mean Poach does. We're just all trying to figure out Poach at this moment, who he values, who he doesn't value. And I just don't see how you can ignore a guy who's regularly playing at Atleti and just, move on to Seb Berhalter. I don't know. Well, it seems a little weird.
As you mentioned, there's some players. There's Max Arson who came out and said, "Hey, the person that really impressed me was Johnny Cardoso," which was strange because he only got, he got a bit of playing time at the friendlies or the friendlies leading into the Gold Cup, and then he got a little bit of time in the Gold Cup, not much.
Yeah.
But then, to be frank, who cares about what the players think? Because clearly Tyler Adams was really impressed with Paxton Aronson. He didn't see a goddamn minute.
Right. So. Yeah, so it doesn't matter what the players think. Yeah.
Cardoso clearly got to have a spot with the national team. He's going to get opportunities moving forward. I'm not saying he's going to be there at the World Cup, because if he comes, it's another opportunity with the national team before the World Cup, and he doesn't perform, then I could understand maybe Poach going with some people he started leaning into in the Gold Cup. You don't know, like a Seb Berhalter or something like that.
Could. Scary, but it could happen.
Yeah.
I can just imagine Arston showing up to training and seeing someone who's actually at a high quality level instead of whoever he plays with the crew, and just being blown away.
But this guy can trap the ball while he's running? What's that? No. I'm going to get accused of MLS hating, so.
Yeah.
That's a common theme around here. I'm sure we have the same kind of people in comments as you guys do on your streams.
Sure.
But I think the big thing for Johnny is his injuries. He always seems to have these nagging things when he comes into camp, kind of like Sargent, actually. Mm-hmm. But for Sargent, it seems like he just misses the camp in general. Johnny, it seems like he comes into camp and then picks it up and ends up playing like 20 minutes the entire time. Yeah. And that's kind of a problem when you've never had a good performance for the national team and you're trying to prove yourself to a manager who pretty clearly has some agendas for certain players over others. I don't think there's any problems with the transfer on club level. I think he's going to play for Atleti. I think Simeone is really going to like him. We already know how good he can be in La Liga. It's just whether he can make the step up at the higher level in Champions League. It's just really a question of, is he going to get the chances with the national team? You would hope so, but if he comes in injured again or if he makes another big mistake, I think that could be it. But that seems to be everything on Johnny. Let's move on now to other big one. Oh, you've got something else?
Yeah, I wanted you mentioned the comparison between him and Sargent as far as coming into camp and being injured or whatever. I think the closer comparison would be comparing Cardoso to Stefan, who do in fact come into camp and pick up some injury there. Whereas we found with Sargent, he's had that ankle injury for a while, never really healed. He's played through it at Norwich and everything like that. Mm-hmm. And then he would make the flight over to the United States. And at that point during that flight, his ankle would just swell up like crazy because it's not fully healed at that point. And then he'd land and be like, dude, I can't even press down on this shit. So, it's still injuries and everything like that, but I just...
That's a good point. I completely forgot about Stefan. I don't know how much game time he would have seen anyway, but it does always seem like he comes in, especially recently. That's the only times he's gotten call-ups, and he just ends up injured and can't. Maybe he can't handle whatever coach is putting him through in training. Who knows? But let's move on to Malik Tillman now. The other really huge one that's been confirmed so far, at least, joining Bayer Leverkusen for what I believe was a record fee in the Bundesliga outside of Bayern, of course. There was a few other links in there. I think I saw some rumors to Milan and Roma early in the summer, but it really seemed like this was all Leverkusen all the way. So we'll start with Brett this time. What do you make of the transfer?
First off, great overall business by PSV, right? They had him for 2 years, one on loan, but bought him for like 12 mil, sold him for, what was it, 35, I believe?
35, I think.
Again, similar to Cardoso in that sense, it's a hefty chunk of change. They're going to play him. Now, whether or not Malik steps up and he performs, that's going to be on him. We've seen in the past, sometimes he shows up for certain games, sometimes he doesn't show up for other games. Hopefully we see more of the overall form that we were seeing at PSV and during the Gold Cup, quite frankly, at Leverkusen.
Most of the Gold Cup,
even some of his bad games for the Gold Cup are still good, comparably to prior.
Sure. Well, the Mexico game, but, trying to do it all by himself. So
yeah, well, I think they isolated him.
Yeah.
He had no help whatsoever. You're right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no help.
I think it's an interesting move. It's a step in the right direction. It's what you'd want to expect if you were to say go to PSV. You'd want to be to secure that type of a move. But like I said, it's a hefty step up, quite frankly, for him. But I think he's going to do fine, quite frankly.
Yeah, I do too. I think he'll be fine. Yeah, they're going to play him. You don't pay that much and not play a guy. And, he's got the physicality to handle everything in the Bundesliga. You play about 6 or 7 teams that really stink every year. So you should be fine, should pick up some assists and goals. And so I think that'll be good for his confidence. I think this is a good move. And I think he's really high in Poach's, point of view at this point. So he's got, the real question is, could this all go bad? I just don't see it. I've tried every way to be cynical about this move, and do they expect him to be Wirtz? Or I don't think so. I think they're bringing him in knowing the kind of player he is and what he can provide. I think he'll be good.
Well, it's not like he's foreign to that culture, anyways. Obviously, so.
Right, it's going right back to where he was.
Home, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Bratwurst and sauerkraut.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think he even played some games in the Bundesliga with Bayern before he initially went out to Rangers. Obviously he knows the language, he knows the culture and everything. I think the only thing that could be negative, like you said, Derek, is maybe people might compare him to Florian Wirtz, and that's obviously a very unrealistic aim. But I think that Leverkusen fans know that they've transitioned to a new era. That's honestly the only other concern is whether they're actually going to be any good. I don't know if you guys saw the friendly they had recently against Flamengo's U20s where they lost 5-1. I mean, you don't want to overreact to preseason, but not exactly the best start under the new manager. But I think he'll be fine on a personal level at least.
They played a lot of younger guys and not necessarily the starting lineup, I think, from the beginning. But, yeah, that was embarrassing. Obviously, Malik wasn't even there, or he had just arrived watching from the sideline or something like that. I don't know. So, yeah, let's hope that. Now, it's a new coach. It's a new team. And we have seen teams like Schalke finish in the top 4 and then, in the past, have to fight and battle against relegation. Or finish in the top half of the table and then get relegated the next season. So, horrible things have happened in the Bundesliga, so you got to be on your toes for sure.
Yeah, I just think on a personal level, he was ready for the move. I think it's a good blueprint for the other guys at PSV to follow. I think one of the main concerns coming into last season for him was that, like you said, Brett, some games he showed up, some games he didn't. I think last season he really took a huge step up in the most important games within the Eredivisie, but also the Champions League. I thought it was night and day between his first season there and his second season in terms of his performances within the Champions League against the bigger teams. And I think overall he's ready for the move. Let's move on now to the next one, which was reported at the very start of summer, but still seems to not be officially confirmed yet because of a certain situation that went on with the club. Matt Turner going to Lyon. I'll start with this one. I think it's money laundering at its finest. I think if you look into the history of the owners of Lyon and Nottingham Forest and what they've been doing recently in the transfer window, I think there's a little something fishy going on. But if you just want to look at it from Matt Turner's point of view, he's going to a huge club in France where he's probably going to be the starter because, I mean, I would imagine they're going to sell Lucas Perry to, there's been links to, I think, Serie A, and I mean, with their financial situation, they're going to need to cash in on him. Some other players have already left, like Cherky. He's probably going to be the starter for a European team that's playing in multiple competitions. It's a huge step up from what he has been the last few seasons. Whether he's actually going to be good, I have my doubts, but I think it's everything you could ask for on paper. It's up to him to go out there and do the work, whether he actually wants to perform or not. I see you pulled up a tweet here, Brett.
Yeah. So Hector Mendes says that Turner's turned down Lyon and is opting to enter advanced talks with Aston Villa.
What?
That's interesting.
What?
But by the way, Hector Mendes is definitely not a parody.
Oh, yeah. He looks like a super reliable source.
Yeah. He says we'll be verified by the end of the week, guys.
Okay, so this is horse crap.
Probably, I would imagine, yes.
I'll keep an eye on Hector Mendes then.
I mean, what's he going to be, the third-string goalkeeper at Aston Villa? Is that what
he's been the third-string goalkeeper for every club he's been to since the move to Europe.
I mean, maybe that's what he wants. He just wants to sit on the bench, collect his money. It's not a bad gig by any means if you don't want to have any ambition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can Horvath it if you want to, but eventually you're not going to make this World Cup team. So if he goes to Lyon, by the way, even if they get rid of their number one goalkeeper, there's no guarantee that he's going to be the number one goalkeeper throughout the whole season. I'm sorry. Something's wrong with Matt Turner. The guy who used to be an amazing shot stopper with questionable feet has become a lackluster shot stopper with questionable feet. Those are not two things you want to pair together. So I wish him all the best at Lyon. But even if he starts off the season as a starter, I highly question his ability to hold on to that job for the whole season. I really do. I'm sorry that's where I'm at with Matt.
No, I hear you on that. I think mainly the question is going to be, can they afford to have another keeper who can even push him, but that also kind of just depends on how good or bad he is. Maybe the third string that they already had will take over his spot just because of how bad he was. I mean, we saw that kind of at Forest.
I questioned again because that's the exact same thing that happened to him at Forest. They spent some like $8 million for him, and then they went and spent like another $4 million on another starting goalkeeper from like the Belgian league.
Who took his job?
Then they spent another $8 million on somebody else.
Who took his job? Yes.
Yeah.
In this case, I don't think that Lyon are getting rid of their number 2. So good luck beating him. Is all I'm saying. Good luck, Matt. Listen. Nobody wants Matt to return to shot-stopping form more than me, but I just haven't seen that confidence, and I actually saw the confidence in his body wither away in the last couple of years, and just almost leave it like a ghost. Leave him like a ghost. So, good luck to him.
Yeah, anything to add, Brett?
Not really. No. I mean, it is what it is at this point. He's a shell of his former self. He needs to regain his confidence, and it's. I mean, even if he's given a shot at Lyon, there's no guarantee that he's going to hold that position and regain it at this point.
How big of a kick in the nuts is it that you go to the Gold Cup and Poach says, "Yeah, I'm going to go with this other guy named Freeze."
Yeah.
And,
another guy called Matt, too, stole his name and his position.
Well, yeah, we're going with the other Matt. Matt, sorry, buddy. I mean, that's not going to help.
Do you think it's possible he wrote the name down thinking that he was writing Turner down because Matt, Freeze. Oh, then it is announced, and he's like, "Oh shit, I can't go back on that now." And then he performed, and he's like, "Well, let's just see how it goes."
Well, there's that whole conversation about how he put Matt T, but the T kind of looked like an F, so nobody was really sure who was starting, and so he had to make this big speech correction to the team. No, it's an F. It's Matt Freeze, not Matt Turner. Start very embarrassing.
I think the end of that rumor also, he was eating an ice cream cone, and he had brain freeze, and he just said freeze. Oh shit! Now we're stuck here.
But don't. Sorry, Brett will be here all week.
Unfortunately, yes, I will be here all week now.
Yeah.
Well, that's all on Matt Turner.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's move on to hopefully a brighter note. Damion Downs going to Southampton after apparently not coming to an agreement with Cologne on a new contract. He only had 1 year left. They decided to cash in, going from the second division in Germany to the second division in England, where he'll probably be fighting for promotion like he did last season, hopefully having a bigger role. What do you make of it, Derek?
I mean, he's the penultimate body type striker for the championship. He's a big, large mammal, and he can hold the ball up, and he's good in the box, and he's a good finisher. I think he's going to do good. And again, he'll be playing against 7 or 8 truly garbage-ass teams in the championship in the season twice. So that's 16 games where you're probably going to have a really good chance to score a goal. So I think he's going to do pretty well. And, I don't know if it's going to put him into the top 3 picture, but the fact that Poach hates Sargent's guts, I think, for whatever reason, does leave that third spot kind of hanging, drifting to be captured. And I want to be real clear about Poach. And the reason I say this, if we are to believe at some point that Poach really believes his rhetoric about it's not about where the players play or how good or technical they are. It's all about the team and building this perfect team. And I'm a fucking genius and I can build this kind of team because I am great. I am Poach. If he really does believe in himself and that arrogance to this point, we could see some wacky stuff going into 2026, honestly. So, I've already said I think Sargent's a goner. I don't know if he's going to get another shot. Brett seems to hope that he does. I do too. But, I think Damion Downs is in the picture just simply because he somehow was in the picture at the Gold Cup. And so is Agyemang, probably. Sorry.
Derek, I want to give you props for doing that whole spiel without saying Dominic once. Congratulations, I appreciate that. I want to know how many Google searches it took you to realize that it wasn't Dominic Downs and he's no longer playing professional soccer, and it's actually his brother Damion. But
Yeah, that's the big problem with having a friend in your younger years named Dominic Downs. So I did. That's why I can't get that out of my head. But all right. Thank you, Brett.
Echoing the same sentiments, really. He's built for the championship. He's good at holding up. He's eager to get the ball. Whenever he played for the Gold Cup, he was actively searching those pockets to try to get the ball with his back to goal. Even he's quick and he has a nose for goal. So I suspect he'll do fine. I mean, will he do any better than say Sargent or Haji Wright in the championship? Well, hopefully, for his sake, he does. But that still would be a solid feat if he did that.
The one thing I would add, though, the fact that Cologne didn't grip onto him and say, no, we're re-signing you. I don't know. That brought some question marks into my head. Like, you just joined the Bundesliga. This is your young starlet striker. Why are you so easily letting him go?
Could they find a striker that has Bundesliga experience?
Well, they're trying
the $8
to.
million that he just they just got from him.
Well, they're going to use that $8 million plus hopefully some other money they stored away in their little chipmunk hole somewhere.
Money.
Yeah. So I guess they're going to go for somebody more proven. But I mean, we'll see who that ends up being at Cologne. But Köln. So, but yeah, that kind of threw me for a little bit of a loop.
That's strange because that's the same pitfall that all recently promoted teams going into first tier divisions do. They look for that seasoned vet who's put in the years, who's proven that they can score goals at that point, and then they get him and he just doesn't perform as well because the team is who they are. Whereas, I don't know, Damien's kind of a wild card at that point, man. He's coming in there. He's young, dumb, and ready to play.
Yeah, I don't know. I was a little surprised. I mean, you do all that unless you're Holstein Kiel. You just bring the same team you brought from to Bundesliga. But that's another option.
Plus Tolkien,
yeah.
Yes, you add him as your record signing. Yeah. Yeah. And late in the season, so there's not much time to turn things around. So there's that too.
Yeah, I kind of agree that I probably would have preferred to see him stay at Cologne, and I think that there maybe could be some issues on their end as to why they didn't want to keep him, some red flags maybe that they saw with him at the highest level, but luckily for him, he's not going to be at the highest level next year. He's going to be in the championship playing probably similar quality of teams, maybe a little bit better, but the fact that he's going to once again be on one of the best teams in the league is going to help him a lot. He's going to have a lot of service. He's going to get a lot of chances. Southampton, as of recent years, have been investing a lot of money into the youth and buying young players, and I think he's going to have every opportunity to succeed, and I think it's going to be fun seeing him go up against all of the other strikers that we have in the championship. And speaking of that, Patrick Agyemang, and speaking of perfect body types for the league as well, I mean, he's an absolute unit up top. Whether he can actually control the ball is another story, but he joined Derby County over a few other clubs. He had links to Ipswich. He had some links to France as well, which I don't know if necessarily I would have bought those. A little too high quality of clubs, I think, for him. But I think in terms of the situation he's joining, it seems to be a club his level. It's just a question of whether he'll perform. And props to him as well for actually challenging himself, leaving MLS, going to Europe. But Brett, what do you think of the Agyemang deal?
Well, I mean, Charlotte was in the right to take the bid. I mean, the deal because they got like $8 million from him.
Yeah,
$8 million.
I mean, at that point, how could you not turn that? How could you turn that down? That'd be the most insane deal of the
plus season. 2 in bonuses too.
Yeah. So, I mean,
bonuses that won't be hit probably.
Well, I don't know. We'll see. Go ahead, Brett.
Charlotte's hurting because now that their future backup to is Kelman, who won't be joining them.
No.
But again, you have to make that deal. They have another striker in the background who, while he was gone, he scored a smattering of goals for Charlotte.
Toklamati, yeah, 20
So, I
years
mean,
old too.
yeah, they're not hurting. I mean, it's MLS. If you have a striker who has a kind of a nose for goal, he'll put it away. As far as Derby picking up, is it Derby or is it Derby? I mean, if you're here, I thought it was Derby, correct?
It's spelled like Derby.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly how they pronounce it. I guess you'd have to ask an Englishman.
Derby County is how it's pronounced there.
Huh.
It's kind of up in between Derby and Derby. Derby County. Derby County.
That sounded a little Irish.
I was going to say that wasn't quite an English accent.
I know, but that's how I've heard it most of my life. But I could be wrong.
Ireland, England, same thing, right? So, but I mean, obviously, again, they ponied up the cash. He's going to play. He's going to get his opportunities. And to your point, Braden, sorry, he does have the body type for it, but he doesn't play like he's got the body type for it. He's not a target striker. He's not a holding striker. He's absolutely he echoes Josie in my opinion, because Josie had the build, and he eventually worked his way into that build. Of course, as a back to goal, not necessarily a target striker, but a holding striker to bring the team in. But Patrick plays just like Josie of was it
Sunderland?
Not with Sunderland. No. I was saying when he played for AZ, when he played for New York, he played between the lines.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Waited for those slotted balls. He'd run on to it, put it away. And we saw it in the Gold Cup. Whenever he played the target role, he spent what felt like 90% of the time on the ground. I mean, some of them are actual fouls, absolutely, but a lot of the times it was like his feet. He tripped over his own feet trying to through the box. But you know what? They saw something in him, and maybe they just see the potential. He could put the ball
or the
away,
marketing,
and he's got a big body, and maybe possibly the marketing. I suspect he'll do fine. I don't know how good he'll do. So I feel like the center backs in the championship are definitely better than center backs in MLS for the most part. They're at least more physical.
Sure.
So I don't know. I mean, if I was him, I would have taken this move too. You take the opportunities you have. He's 24 years old. He's not going to have another opportunity like this.
Yeah, this could go one of two ways.
It really can, yeah. So
this could be a total bomb, bad. I do suspect, however, with his size and his physicality, there are going to be some center backs that are going to struggle with him. And if he can figure out how to head the ball not to the goalie when a cross comes in, and not to the goalie, meaning anywhere else in the goal area except for the goalie, which is what he unfortunately does quite a bit when in the air, which is headed straight to the goalie. If he can figure out how to do that, when he arrives, the coach should be like, all right, hey, I need 4 guys. You're going to continuously lob balls into the box. And you, Bambi, you're going to be heading these balls in left, right, all day. We're going to practice on your set pieces all day.
You need to have an assistant coach there with one of those like football tackle pads or whatever, and just constantly shoving him.
Yes.
And just work on balance.
Right.
Hit the weight room. Let's go. You got your 6'4" frame. I mean, come on. Play like a target striker.
Have like one guy there just pushing them around while they lob crosses in. And I think if they do that and they focus on that and they can get them at least somewhat good there, I think, again, even though Derby are a pretty poor team, they're probably going to be fighting relegation. They're probably going to be near the bottom. You're still playing 6 to 7 atrocious teams in the championship that really have invested 0 zip since they moved up from League One, and one either directly or since they moved up from League One. So, I mean, he should score a handful of goals, you would think. And it shouldn't be a complete nightmare, but it could be. And I only can wish him well.
And those games in particular are going to be the ones that make or break him, I think, because they are probably going to be down there. I like their project a little more than most. I think they have a good manager in Eustace, but at the end of the day, if they're going to be fighting relegation again, those games against those other teams down at the bottom are going to be what matters, and it's going to be what endears you to fans. In particular, if you can perform, score a few goals against in those relegation 6-pointers, then the fans are going to love him. The club's going to love him. He has all the physical tools to succeed. That's not something you can teach. Hopefully he can learn the more technical side of the game. I think he's set up for success. They've definitely invested a lot in him. Maybe a little too much for a club that also recently had some big financial issues, but that's their call. Maybe decisions like that are why they had problems in the first place. I wish him well. I don't personally think he's going to be a national team player. And I think there's also an argument that you can make that maybe leaving MLS is bad for his national team career, because even if he does perform, maybe the next MLS guy up will be preferred to him by Poach, because that seems to be what's going on right now.
Yeah, I don't think he would have had that great of an MLS season. At least it wasn't getting off to that great of one this season. But he does have the bonus of being able to hang out with his cousin from the women's English national team. So they can hang out, have a few beers, have a few laughs. So there's that.
Yeah, she's been better than him. She's been very clutch.
She was clutch today.
Yeah, 96th minute equalizer, getting them through. Clutch against Sweden as well.
Absolutely.
So maybe he'll learn some tips from her and end up being the clutch player of the year in the championship. Who knows? But you mentioned championship center backs being better than MLS center backs. The next guy, George Campbell, is going from one to the other. I think we can be pretty quick on this one. It's not really something that affects the picture too much unless he does really well. But joining Daryl Dike, another striker with all the physical tools at West Brom, over Bristol City, I had some interest. Malmo from Sweden, which I thought was a little bit out of left field. But I think the way he's built seems to be solid for the championship. I think he's a pretty solid center back, especially considering how horrible of a team he was in with Montreal. He still looked like somewhat of a bright spot. So, I mean, I personally think he'll be okay. Whether it's enough to get into the national team picture, I don't know. There's a lot of turmoil at the position in terms of the depth that we have there. So maybe there's an opportunity to be had. I think he'll do well on a personal level.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine. Just like you said, whether or not Poach is interested in him at all, I don't think so. But I don't know if this is going to help or hurt or just make him so far away that Poach doesn't even know he exists anymore. So
it's possible.
I wish him the best, though. Yeah, he's a good, solid player. Always was, even back in the Atlanta days.
He's on Poach's radar, at least. He was on I believe he was on the 60-man roster, was he not?
He was.
Yeah.
But I mean, who wasn't on the 60-man roster, quite frankly?
Yeah, but his radar is
Ledesma wasn't the first time.
Yeah, I mean, he looks at the radar, once every 24 hours. That's why planes are crashing into each other. So let's not get too and we don't even know who helps put those lists together for him with him. I hope it's with him, but yeah, we don't know.
Well, I mean, do you really think Poach has eyes on 60 players in our pool?
No,
I don't think so. Not at all. There's absolutely somebody who's familiar with our pool that are just filling in the spaces. But yeah, I mean, his move to West Brom's not going to hurt his chances, I don't think. I mean, like you said, though, maybe it's going to hurt in the sense that in MLS, I don't know if Poach necessarily has a tendency to call in more MLS players. This Gold Cup was a definitely eye-opener and kind of a out of left field number of call-ups, but moving forward, who knows what will end up happening? Because I mean, this is all based on the precedence that the Poach was sending a message to his top players that your spots aren't safe.
Do you think Poach will take a trip to West Brom this season to watch DK? And
DK, I mean, DK's got to get healthy first.
And Campbell? No,
I don't think he's going to see. I mean,
he is healthy as of now.
Who knows?
DK's fine right now.
I'm just saying, he's got to get healthy. Period. Yeah,
one game, and he'll probably be back in the hospital.
I'll wait. I'm going to hold off on hope for DK at this point
until
he shows he can stay healthy.
I get it.
No, I don't think he's going to go to West Brom to see Campbell.
I don't think
unless he's killing it, and then maybe kind of a 2-for-1. Hey, I'm here to watch Tottenham play, and I'm just going to swing over to West Brom.
When is West Brom playing Tottenham?
No.
Maybe FA Cup.
FA Cup?
You didn't listen to what I said, Derek. I said I was there to watch Tottenham. I'm just going to swing over to go watch West Brom.
All right. Well,
no indication that they're playing each other. Come on now.
I don't think that's really in the regional swing by area sort of travel
distance. It's in the UK. Everything's within the swing.
No, sure.
Yeah.
Just jump on the train. Yeah.
I'd be like landing in Indiana and going, oh, geez, I can't make it to South Bend. It's 2.5 hours away. The worst.
There's also the added bonus for him that he's going to be going up against American strikers like half of the games. So maybe Poch will tune in and he'll see, oh wow, he just locked up Agyemang. I think this guy's our best striker. So maybe what are we doing? Let's call this guy up. That's probably his only hope.
Derek, that would have been a better example instead of, do you think he's going to go and see DK and then watch Campbell? No, he's going to go and watch Patrick Agyemang and Damion Downs, not Dominic, but Damion, and then happen to see Campbell play. Maybe
they all cancel each other out this season.
Maybe none of them are good.
Yeah. One game, Campbell has a great game. The next game, Agyemang scores 4 on him. Who knows? They all cancel each other out. All right.
Well, let's get into, leaving the actual confirmed deals, besides, I guess, Matt Turner is now going to Aston Villa via that very credible source that you brought up. But let's move to one that, Derek, you actually have most of the sources for. Josh Sargent, there's been no shortage of rumors for him this summer. I've seen clubs from Serie A, I've seen clubs from the Prem, I've seen clubs from the Bundesliga, but it looks like he's closing in on a move to Wolfsburg. Since you're the expert here, I'll let you take it away and tell us what you know and what you think of the move if it happens.
It's the most promising thing yet. The last bit of news I got, because I just sent a text and say, all right, well, it's almost the weekend. Is this deal done yet? Nope. So the deal is not done yet. All the personal things have been settled. I think it sounds like the money part's done as far as the clubs exchanging the transfer fees. A little bit higher than I thought it was going to be, honestly. I think I had initially reported that they're willing to pay Norwich their asking fee. I thought it was 20. Sounds now more like it's 21. I think the deal will get done because it sounds like Wolfsburg's willing to pull the trigger. So I would suspect this deal is done next week and over with. And on Monday, Tuesday, definitely by Wednesday, we should know something. If I get something prior to Wednesday that tells me differently, I will certainly let people know. But it does sound like that deal is near done and has been in the works now for at least when I don't even remember. Was it Monday when they put that out? I don't know. All I know is
about a week, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's the first one, and then all the German papers were using me in their quotes, and good for them. They trust me. I don't know. They don't know. They don't know me from Adam, but okay.
Twitter pundits were, of course.
One guy. Whatever.
This whole thing echoes like an episode of Pawn Stars, where Wolfsburg's like, "Hey, we're willing to drop $20 million on him, which is more than his market value, by about $4 million." And Norwich is going back. Well, if you're willing to pay $20 million, I suspect you're willing to pay $21 million.
Yeah.
Wolfsburg's like, what do you got under that couch?
Yeah.
21? Okay, we'll do 21, sure.
My guess is it was probably always 21 then, if that. See, I'm not getting exact numbers. What I'm getting, because of who's giving it to me, is the day-by-day, here's where we're at, and here is where the negotiations are, and I can't give you the exact dollar amounts. No one knows these exact dollar amounts until the deal is done. I'm telling you, people, that's how this shit works. You don't know because there's all kinds of finagling. You don't know if it's 18 plus 3 or 17 plus 4. We don't know until it's going to be done. But the bottom line is Wolfsburg's that invested. They got 2 other strikers that apparently they don't believe that much in, and they think that Josh is the real guy. And they've been more persistent than any other teams. Leeds is poked in, poked out. Burnley made a big move and then went, whoa, you want that much? No, hold on now. And so I think this is the best move for him. I think going to Leeds and Burnley is a death sentence. You're not going to get any service. You're going to get your ass beat all season in the EPL. Wolfsburg, best move. Let's do it. Mm-hmm. And no, I'm not giving away my sources.
Derek, at this point, we all know it. It's Sargent's family's personal masseuse. Come on.
It's his wife. Yeah.
Derek's on first name basis with her.
Yes. I give her advice. Stepsister advice. All right. That's all I got.
Yeah. I knew we were going to get one of those jokes in there.
Only a matter of time, right? We're about 41 minutes into this. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
This long, quite frankly.
I know. But, I mean, I agree basically with everything you said. I think the Prem would have been a disaster for him.
Yeah.
I do think it would have been a little better than when we saw him there with Norwich, because he would have actually been playing his position with a little bit better of a team, but also a much better overall league than it was a few years ago. I just think it wouldn't have made sense for anybody. Wolfsburg, there's a couple other guys in there that he's probably going to be fighting with, but if they keep the same formation, at least from last season, they're going to be playing with 2 strikers most of the time anyway, and for a team like Wolfsburg to invest that much money in Josh Sargent, I think it tells me at least that they're pretty committed to him. He's going to be a starter from day one, unless something catastrophic goes on in training or something, and he decides to punch the manager, pull a Tim Weah in Copa America, or something like that. But I think he's going to have. I think he's going to have all the opportunities to succeed. I think he will. He already knows the league a little bit. He's matured a lot as a player, and I'm sure as a person as well since he was there last. I think it's going to be good. It's just a question of, again, is he going to be able to be in the national team picture? There's that 5.5 years hanging over his shoulder. But if you're performing in the Bundesliga, you have to get a call, in my opinion. But I don't know if that's how it's going to play out.
Yeah, that's the questionable part. Yeah,
it's comical that you have people who obviously take their national team bias into the equation here. And yes, 5 years without a goal, that's rough. Mind you, there's context behind the fact that it's not like he was playing continually for that 5 years. There were massive gaps where he just wasn't playing. He wasn't called in or he was injured. But still, I'm not discrediting the fact, again, that there's this huge albatross around his neck saying, hey, you haven't scored in 5+ years.
He acknowledged it.
Yeah. So, but it's funny when you have national team fans who are taking that into the equation because they're simply saying like, oh, he failed in the Bundesliga first time and he failed in the English Premier League. This is his last opportunity. I'm like, when did he fail in the Bundesliga?
Yeah, never.
I mean, what?
Yeah, he never failed in the Bundesliga.
Happened.
Right. And yeah, did he have a rough time in the EPL when he got there? Yeah, he had to play winger most of the time.
I think that's why Norwich picked him up. They saw him at Bremen, and said, "Hey, look, this striker can also play winger.
Throw him out at left midfield." Wow. So it's people have an inability to be balanced. As Brett and I have said, yes, we acknowledge the drought. I hammered him when he was just getting going in the championship at Norwich because I said, hey, you got to ask for the ball. You got to have some balls. You got to stand up to your teammates and say, I was open, pass me the fucking ball.
That started in the Premiership, actually, but still carried over.
It carried over, but it took him a while to get there. The good news for him going to Wolfsburg is this deal already makes him the man. He didn't have to go there and say, oh, I'm a tiny little Josh Sargent guy. I got to, show everybody how good I am. No, they're paying you this money because they already believe in you. So when you get there, the staff, the coaches, the men, they all believe in you already. They know you're the man. You are the man. They're paying you the most they've paid most players. Like Wolfsburg doesn't spend this kind of money normally. There have been like 3 players in like 6, 8 years they paid this much money. So yes, this means he's the man. So yeah, he should go in there with full confidence. Not like his little wussy thing he did at Norwich before coming to the U.S. men's national team, where he's like, "Oh dear me, I'm really concerned, because I haven't scored in a long time for the U.S. men's national team.
What's happened there?
And I'm really worried because I'm not really the man at the U.S. men's national team like I am at Norwich. There are other players who better me, like Pulisic. Yeah, don't say shit like that ever again on Live Network. Don't ever do that kind of interview again, Josh, please."
Yeah, I mean, I think that's everything on Sargent. So let's move on to the one that I think has got the most attention probably within USMNT fans. Gio Reyna has had a lot of links this summer, none of which have really panned out besides this new one to Parma, but apparently Dortmund are still trying to hold out for a few extra pennies despite never giving the guy a chance. I'm getting a little bit tired of that personally. I think a lot of people are. There was a lot of other clubs that were put off by the asking price, in particular Lyon, PSV. We know he was offered basically every club under the sun. There was MLS rumors that turned out to just be agent talk, nothing more than that. I'm glad on that. I think that Parma is the perfect move for him personally. I hope Dortmund can actually agree on a reasonable fee to give him up, because if Parma don't buy him, no one's going to buy him for that amount of money. And then you're just left with him rotting on your bench, leaving on a free. You get no money. He doesn't get a World Cup spot. Parma might go down because they don't have him. No one wins in the situation. So I think they just need to sell him and agree on a fee. But other than that, I think it's a perfect move. The kits are nice. It's a good league for him stylistically. He just needs to decide to actually sprint again.
Well, and he's already agreed to terms with them, so clearly he's interested in going, and that's half the battle right there. Because Dortmund can hold out. They're holding out for like 10 to 12 million for him, and that's like 4 million, 5 million over his market value. What are they expecting? They played him a total of like 270 minutes all season. What are they really expecting? I mean, They should be happy that they're going to get the 6 to 7 million or whatever that Parma wants to pony up for him. And you're right. If they do flub this one, even if they drop the value down, we're going to get towards the end of the silly season. All the teams have already made their decisions on other players they want. Try to pick up another team at that point. And I saw some people like, oh, well, MLS will pony up more money than he'll ever get in Europe and stuff. I'm like, yeah, but maybe Gio doesn't want to go to MLS.
He doesn't.
I don't think a lot of people really think about this, because I actually suspect that Gio would be willing to sacrifice the 2026 World Cup to ride Dortmund's bench than to sign a 3+2 contract with MLS, and might end up turning into an MLS lifer at that point.
Yeah, he's not going to MLS. He doesn't want to go.
So yeah, Dortmund can be, LAFC. I know that obviously that rumor's been debunked, of course, by Bogert. But insert random team here. Let's say Greg actually went out and like, hey, we'll pay $20 million for Gio. And Dortmund's like, fucking sold. And Gio's like, fuck no.
Yeah, and he can still say fuck no if he wants to.
Yeah.
You're right. So Dortmund are playing a tricky game here of chicken. They're hoping that Parma will come in and throw in another couple mil. The fact that, their plan failed for Gio, completely failed. Not for every young player, because some of their young players, when they brought Sahin in, did get to play again finally. So it did work for some of the other players, not for Gio. It was kind of like, I don't know, in a way, it looked like, we're going to give you some starts. We're going to bring you off the bench every game. And now look at where we are. We're right back to nothing city. So he's got to get the hell out of here. He's got Dortmund holding him back. And Dortmund are kind of part of the problem. Not that Reyna has no blame in this at all. He does. He didn't go on and kick serious ass, or as you said earlier, Braden sprint. So A lot of teams are looking at him and it's like, 6 mil? How's 6 mil? No, we want 10. All right, come on. That's ridiculous. 10? Well, he was once worth 40. Okay, well, great. He was once worth, I don't care what he was once worth. He's not that player anymore, and we're paying you 6, and you're going to lose him for free here in about, 42 days or whatever it is. So chuck over the player, and here's your money, and let's make this over with. So hopefully that's what happens, and Parma gets him. It'd be a great situation for him, I think, to kind of rebuild himself. Still don't think that Poach is going to call him in September, and I don't know if he's
not.
Don't think there's no chance he's getting in the September camp, and I don't think there's some serious ass questions here of whether or not Poach even values him in the way he would need to for the 2026 World Cup.
But I mean, here's the thing with that in that scenario. Obviously, the skills are there. It's just he has to have the drive and the ambition there. If he goes to Parma, and let's just say he's lighting up as far as Parma's concerned, like he's making progressive passes, creating opportunities, maybe getting a goal or an assist here or whatever, and Parma's doing incredibly well for their stake in Serie A. Definitely not September window. There's no chance in hell that's ever going to happen. But if he's doing well, does Poach look at possibly an October window? Maybe.
Which Poach we talking about?
Pochettino.
The one who's talked endlessly about we just need guts, heart, and will?
Yeah. Well,
because that guy doesn't seem to really value that kind of technical ability.
But that also bangs away at the point I was trying to make, though. If he is killing it, let's just say he's doing incredibly well in Serie A, he could be looking at that and saying, well, there's the drive that we need with a very skilled player.
Hope you're right.
Maybe we'll call him in and give him an opportunity. I'm not saying he's going to call him in and start him and he's going to score 5 goals in 2 games. But I'm saying it's possible if he's doing well at that point that Poach may give him another opportunity. And the same thing I was saying about Sargent at the time, too. Not going to be September by any means. Probably won't even be October. But if he's doing well in Bundesliga and if he's doing well in Serie A, I could see him giving him another opportunity.
From your lips to God's ears.
I've got a direct line with him, so it's all right.
He's never had an opportunity under Poch in the first place. I mean, he was called in for the Nations League, but he played 21 minutes against Canada, and that was it. And did that game even really matter? Not really. It was a third-place match that we lost to Jesse Marsh and all of his anti-patriotism ways. But I don't see how you don't give a player that clearly has this kind of talent at least one fair chance. Hopefully it happens, but like you said, I think it's going to need some serious club form behind the decision. And if he doesn't get to the move to Parma, I think he's screwed in terms of the World Cup. If he does, maybe he's still screwed. Who knows? I just don't think he's in a right situation in terms of Poch's mind.
Remember, Poach was going to play him and Luna in extra time against Panama, remember?
Yeah. All right. Well,
another masterclass from his substitution making. That should have been the warning sign.
Mm-hmm.
And all 76-minute subs in the Gold Cup, no changes, all 6 games. Brilliant.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. So even if he is called up, maybe he won't even play in the first place. But moving on to Tim Weah, apparently him punching a guy last summer was so bad that he got a move to Prison FC of Liga, Marseille, for a loan with obligation to buy. There was a lot of other interest, mainly from the Premier League. He had the move to Nottingham Forest that he decided wasn't for him. They ended up going and signing Alenga for like 50 million. So probably the right call there. I think Marseille is a good opportunity for him to get minutes. I'm just not sure if he's going to be playing the right position or not. In my mind, it's either he's going to start at left wing because that they do kind of have an issue there, or he's going to be the backup on the right wing and right back and left wing, probably just a utility guy like he has been in his last couple stops. And that's just kind of same old. And at that point, is it even worth making a move?
Yeah, he should play. He probably will be used in a utility situation. It would be nice to get him to see to play a position that he wants to play. I think that's one of the reasons he turned down Forrest. He's like, am I going to get to play one of the 3-4 positions? Get to play a winger position? No, well, maybe not. We think we might want you to play left back or right back. No, I don't want to do that. So I'm out of this deal. So we'll see. I mean, obviously his agent has been working this out. Timothy really likes the deal. If he goes there, should play, should be fine. And yeah, that's all I got on that one.
Well, remember, Weah and, as we're going to get into in a little bit here, Weston are being forced out of Juventus due to their slanderous claims on Italian food.
Mm-hmm.
It was hysterical. After that video came out, it's like, bam, you're all on the chopping block. Get out of here.
Yep.
I don't blame him, honestly.
You don't slander Italian food.
It's one thing you don't do. When you're playing in Italy, you don't slander their food by any means.
Yep.
I think what ended up happening is Juve saw Weah making some spaghetti, and they saw him break the pasta in half before putting it in boiling water. Swear to God. The talks with Forrest, I know Derek in our shows always talked about how they probably came and said, hey, we want you to be playing out right wing back for our club here, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, well, I want to play winger. But the problem was that Elanga and Hudson-Odoi played 98% of the playing minutes at Forest that last season.
Yep.
Hell, they went the previous summer. They went out and they purchased 2 other wingers that literally didn't get playing time until the end of the season.
Yeah.
So I'm sure Weah was looking at maybe looking. I don't know how in depth these players actually look at some of that stuff.
They do. The agent does too.
Not Dest though. Not Dest. The other players, sure, just not him.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, moved back to France. Where there's not an Italian restaurant for miles.
Yes, there is.
But anyways,
yes, there is.
Well, I'm sure they could find some bistro or whatever somewhere.
Sure. Yes.
Down there. But yeah, it's a less interesting move in the sense that it makes sense for me. He's back. He's going back to his roots of where he developed for the most part. Obviously he's got family history there. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Obviously, there's the option to buy, or mandatory option to buy, as we talked about yesterday. Which, as Lawless mentioned, it's kind of funny that it's a mandatory option. It's an option. It's not really mandatory, is it? But
kind of a contradiction. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
You have an option to mandatorily buy this player.
But no, I'm cool with the move, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he may have done. I saw videos this Club World Cup of fans when they played Italian teams getting a bowl of pasta and putting ketchup on it. I think maybe he might have done that to the Juve front office, and then that was probably his final straw. But hopefully he doesn't do the same thing to a baguette, and then we'll all be okay.
Yeah, don't offend the French on their food. No,
I mean, Weston's been. I think that's why Weston's been on the chopping block every season, because he's like, oh yeah, pizza's good and all, but it's only better when you add ranch to it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll eat a piece of cheap pizza with ranch if need be, but it's not my definitely go-to for any pizza.
And turkey's always just inherently dry.
Super dry. They're pissing off all Americans too at that point. Well, as we found out, it's like half of the American population. The other half of the population agree, like, oh, turkey's dry. I'm like, you guys are not cooking it properly.
Fucking idiots don't know how to cook turkey. Yeah.
Look, anything on a low temperature, you're going to retain the moisture. It's going to be good, guys. Trust me.
Yep.
Well, while we're on the topic, let's just move to Weston then, and we'll leave Cole Campbell for last. I think this is going to be a pretty quick one. It's the same thing we see every summer. He was apparently, according to super credible sources at Gazzetta, offered to Atletico Madrid, which I personally think he'd be a nightmare for Simeone. I think that they would be having fist fights by the second week of training. But maybe there's legs in that. That's going to happen. Turner's going to go to Aston Villa, and everyone's good. Everyone's going to be happy. But do you guys want anything on that?
It's like when Reyna was being offered to PSV, Ajax, and Feyenoord. It's like,
Yeah.
What is this word? This word salad that's being thrown out. He's being offered. He's being offered. It's like, hey, would you like to sign this guy?
Like
Please
a
take him.
prostitute. Yes.
Maybe. We'll see. How much you want him? You want 10 to 12 million? No. Go away.
Yeah, I don't believe this one yet. It seems redundant also, based on the other players they're targeting and have signed, and I just think it's redundant as hell. So yeah, I don't believe this one. And if it's an Italian paper, yeah, the legs we're talking about, like this report has leg. This report has slug legs. They're very tiny, they're very small, and they're moving very slowly. So I wouldn't buy this one at all. I think we're gonna have to wait a couple more weeks, maybe a week or two, until we find out more about some actual real deals where West is going to go. And then we should probably call our contact on West and figure out the real deal. Yeah.
I like the comment section of the post and everything like that. You have all the Juve fans come, give us 35 million and he's all yours.
Yeah,
sure,
Juve fans.
There's not a single person on your team that you wouldn't take 35 million for at this point.
Yeah, I'm just surprised to see Juve fans actually sticking up for West for once. Seems like he wasn't exactly popular there for quite a while.
Yeah.
There's still a smattering of Juve fans that are like, blah.
Yep, there are. It's still kind of like, I mean, it's more 60-40 now, like 60 pro, 40 against. 40 are still loud and ugly. Yeah.
Yeah. But you're going to get that in Italy.
Yep.
But well, let's move on to the last one then, I guess, for this video at least. Cole Campbell basically confirmed to be leaving Dortmund. The club wanted him to go on loan abroad somewhere, and he basically said, no, I'm not doing that. Frankfurt and Stuttgart had interest. Apparently both of them were progressing pretty well. There's been conflicting reports on who's really in the lead. It looks like it's going to be about 7 million for the fee. Here's something from Brett. There's the Stuttgart one for 7 million.
Our favorite guy, PVV. This guy gets so much crap wrong. In the case of Cole Campbell, he says, everything points to a transfer to Stuttgart if they pay 7 million euros for the player.
If they pay, of course they're going to get rid of him for 7 million. The guy's only worth like 1.5 or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
A Bundesliga team like, we'll pay you 7 million for him. Dortmund's going to be like, sold.
I mean, they're going to have to believe in Cole Campbell in the way that no one could possibly believe in him quite yet. 7 million is a guy you pay that started at least 10 or 12 games last season, came off the bench 7 or 8 times. He's nowhere near that yet. And the other news is that some Dortmund folks are saying behind the scenes, hey, let's not give him up for anything quite yet. Mm-hmm. We could build this kid into like a $10, $12 million player. Are we ready to give up on this guy already? Because there are people within the Dortmund coaching base that think this guy can be something special. But he's young and he just needs some years to show it. The question is he going to show it on Dortmund? No, they want to loan him. Dortmund wants to loan him. They don't want to sell him. They want to loan him, get him, some eyeballs, and then raise. This is what Dortmund do. They are a selling club. They want to loan him, get eyeballs on him, and then sell him for an actual 7 million. Because no one, who's offering? Is this real? No, this guy's full of shit. Nobody's offering 7 million for Cole Campbell right now.
Well, okay. Otaku, posted this, and this is from, I guess, the BVB podcast. And they also mentioned it, Frankfurt's interest. Stuttgart's leading in the race at this point. The transfer fees in the range of 6 to 7 million. However, like you said, Derek, this entire second paragraph talks about how they're keen on his development, and Dortmund would prefer a loan. And they says they still believe on him. So,
yep.
So, yeah.
I haven't even read that one yet. All right, good.
There you go. We verified your claim, Derek.
Yeah, that's just good. I love it when Otaku and I are like on the same wavelengths, and I haven't even got to read his post yet. Good stuff from him.
Mm-hmm.
I think that that BVB news blog post is basically the same as saying, in the case of Patrick Agyemang, everything points to a transfer to Barcelona if he can learn how to have a first touch.
I mean,
basically the same thing as that.
We have totally documented how many times that guy's been wrong. Like, and some people think he's actually affiliated with Dortmund. He's not. He has no affiliation with Dortmund whatsoever.
Well, and a lot of his stuff is him just reading or going through the board notes anyways.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure I'll get a message at some point from him when it gets back to him. And I will get some hate mail in my messages, and I'll just have to say, hey, buddy, deal with it. Get more stuff right, and I won't comment as much. So there you go. But he got all the Reyna stuff wrong. All of it.
A side shoot here, the guy we weren't talking about just yet. But Caleb Wiley's completed his return to Watford for a season-long loan. Which doesn't surprise anybody, quite frankly. Nope. Except for an occasional U.S. men's national team that fan that just quote tweets this and puts a sad face on there. As if they expected him to actually play for Chelsea right now.
Oh, my God.
Well, Slonina did win the Club World Cup, so maybe Wiley couldn't even do that.
Yeah, we got some real dreamers out there who just don't understand how all this works. Like Cavan Sullivan is going to Man City to start. No, he's not.
He's already over there, Derek.
I know.
He is there.
He's not starting. He probably will never play a game for Man City's big boy team. Though chances of him playing for the Man City main big boy team is right around 5 to 10%. He's 15 right now, but even with what he's got going right now, and he's going to be 16 soon. Okay, so he should be not looking so out of place when he plays for Philly. He should look a little more comfortable in that. Even at 15, if you are truly a Wunderkid, as everybody is called a Wunderkid. When Messi was 15, 16, he looked like it, a Wunderkid, okay? So if he's truly a Wunderkid, which he's not, he's just a very technically good, skilled player. We'll see how it works out. Let's see if he grows a few more inches, puts on, a more man build. If he doesn't, it's just not necessary. Obviously, you can be small and play soccer, but we'll see what happens. But for all these people out there saying, oh, yeah, he's going to Man City, he's going to play for Man City, he's great. Well, you're delusional. He's going to be loaned out for many years. He's going to play for Scunthorpe or some team like it, okay? All right? He's not playing for Man City right away. He'll be loaned out. He'll be at, MK Dons in League One, okay? He's not playing for Man City right away. So people need to just relax and let this kid develop, and we'll see what happens from there. But, boy, don't get on the hype train too hard. Don't break out the lube too early.
I'll disagree with you on one point there. I don't think. I mean, I'm a Union fan. I watch every game at the first team and second team level. I was actually at his first MLS start against Nashville, and that's the only game that I would say he actually did look out of place in MLS. I don't think it was the right decision at all to give him his first start against a team like that, who is one of the best in MLS. Every other time he's come on, sure, it's just cameos here and there, a few minutes, but every appearance that he's had in MLS besides that, he's had at least one moment where it looks like, okay, he belongs at this level. And the most recent one, I guess, Montreal as well. I mean, it's Montreal. Take it with a grain of salt, but he looked like he fully belonged. He was doing well. I think that probably would have been a better game for him, but at the end of the day, you're right. He's 15. He should probably just be playing in MLS Next Pro for the most part.
It's fair that he performed poorly, or what? Not necessarily poorly, but out of place against Nashville, who's being coached by arguably the best U.S. men's national team coach in the last decade.
True.
So,
yeah, I think,
and a guy who was with the Union system as well, and is probably very familiar with Cavan.
I think when he's come off the bench, it's been in somewhat favorable situations, and that's helped. And it's always easier to come off the bench sometimes when you're that young player. You can come out there, provide a spark. The legs are getting a little heavier on the opponent. We'll see what happens. And, yeah, I'm just not going to I'm not putting him down. I hope he turns out to be like this mega star. I really does. I hope
We could use that.
Yes. But I just – listen, we learned a long time ago. Brett we've been through generations of players. We're like, look at that kid. Or look at that kid. We've learned our lesson. Well, don't ever jump the gun. Don't jump the gun. Let the kid develop. My last mistake was Alalum. That was injuries. Even injuries can do that, right? Even injuries can steal a career. So you can never get too invested in a young individual player this young and just, let him go. Get him out of your mind. Let him just develop somewhere else on an island far away from your consciousness.
Well, I mean,
I don't know if I'd send him to an island given his age.
No. I'm saying metaphorically.
we went there.
Yeah. My metaphoric island is in your consciousness. Don't obsess about young 15-year-old players. Just I get where you're going with that. Trust me. But yeah, I think we need to go easy. I like to give these young guys space now. Like, I don't want to hype them. I don't want to talk about them until they cross the line into, that's for real. I remember when Pulisic was at Dortmund. We didn't cross the line for a while. But, as soon as he crossed the line, we could all cross the line with him because we knew it was real. And I think that's what we need to do with every young player.
Don't you remember the good old days in big soccer when like, oh, this guy is getting playing time for Fiorentina in Serie A, or this guy's getting playing time with Cagliari in Serie A. We're just like, well, he's got a game or two. Both these guys got games.
Yeah.
Let's reel it back a little bit. And they're like, no, he's going to be the best. He's going to be a future starter striker and winger, blah, blah. And where are they now?
Well, one of them ended up playing for El Salvador, not us. Really tiny guy. I can't remember his name. But yeah, a lot of this stuff is just not working out.
Was it Perez?
So I think Perez. Yeah. So it's like a 1 to 5% success rate. So we need just hold on to our horses is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's a good way to end it, I think. Telling everyone to be a little pessimistic on the future.
I meant
more like Derek, not like Brad.
Rational, not pessimistic. Don't overinvest. Don't overinvest is all I'm saying, yeah.
Well, maybe Cavan won't go to Man City and he'll stay in MLS, and that's how he's going to get call-ups because whoever's a manager is just going to ignore everyone in Europe. It could be the case. But thank you guys for coming on. It was a lot of fun having you here. A lot of good discussions on a lot of players. I'm sure we're going to see a lot more rumors, probably a lot more of them BS than real throughout the window, but we'll have to see. For everyone who made it this long, thank you. Definitely a lot longer style video than we're used to around here. But, I mean, that's what they do. If you liked this kind of length of video, definitely go check out the Straight Red Card. Live streams even longer than this, twice a week.
We're just getting done with the fluff at this point.
Yeah.
Just trying to get into the real stuff now.
All right. Thanks for having us on, Braden. We do appreciate it. You're one of the very young, bright stars in this podcast community, but I think you're old enough we can say you've crossed the line. So you know your stuff, and that's all that's important. So we're proud to say everybody can break out the lube and watch this show. It's a good show. All right. Sorry about that. You can cut that out.
Well,
we had a great closing there, and then all of a sudden Derek went back and was like, "Oh, hold my beer."
I got to do the metaphor thing. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you get with the straight red. So we'll leave a link to your guys' channel. Thanks again for coming on. Please like and subscribe if you're new here. I'm sure a bunch of you are probably unfamiliar with me, more of their audience. So if you enjoyed, please subscribe, and we'll have more content out soon. And yeah, that's it.